What's up, y'all? Here we are for episode 2, my series Lab Talk. Today we gonna go over cover 1. It correlates well with cover 3 last week. You know, you find that one high safety, you don't really know if it's man or zone. I'm gonna go through some key indicators to show you what the difference is. I'm also gonna sprinkle in a little bit of cover 0 because I like to attack the defense with the same concepts offensively. With that being said, you know, I got 2x2 formation written up right behind me, so I'm gonna go over those key indicators, how you can tell man versus zone. The first indicator, obviously, you got to find your safeties. I explained last video, super important. You got one high safety. Now, how do you know if it's man versus zone? Well, across the board, you're gonna see man eyes. You got one-on-one matchups all across the board. You can see the defenders with squared hips, eyes targeted down to their hips. You know, they're sticking their receiver one-on-one. With that being said, we're going to get down to the linebacking core. They're going to bob the running back. If the running back releases left, the Mike linebacker will pick him up. If the running back releases right, the Simon linebacker will pick him up, so vice versa. If they come into A-gap, you see a little A-gap pressure type. You know, protection wise, you got to full slide it and put the running back on the end. Maybe you'll cut block them. But with that all being said, you understand this man coverage. You definitely got to have a plan. You identify the safeties. You understand. You see man eyes all across the board. You got to have a plan. Got to have a plan. Maybe this game plan throughout the week, depending on where you are on the field. You know, when it's in the middle of the field and you're in a third down type situation, you're expecting pressure and you need to convert. You got to know your personnel. KYP. We had a receiver back in college, Sac State, who has all the accolades in the world. One of the hardest working players I've ever been around. I love this dude to death. His name is DeAndre Carter. He plays for the Houston Texans. If I ever seen anybody, a linebacker, nickel, safety line up against him man-to-man, it's barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken. I know he's going to give him a little wiggle and he's going to create separation and he's going to convert on third down every single time. Maybe it was a time where I didn't really like the concept and maybe I had to change it to a man-beater type concept. I'll get into that a little bit later. But honestly, anytime, middle of the field, we needed to make a play, we needed to convert, stay on the field. I'm going to DC every single time, and he made some big boy plays our whole senior year. I mean, he led the nation in every single major category. He's just literally a beast. And like I said, depending on where you are in the field, you got to understand the situation. If we ever got into the red zone, I was never, you know, I might go to DC again, but this back in my junior year, we had a receiver named Cole Hicatini. He plays on Dallas Cowboys. He's literally a mismatch on the field. He is a playmaker. He's studly. He's insane. I don't know how. He's so rowdy and so big at the same time. But if we're ever in the red zone type situation and, you know, a safety linebacker, nickel will try to line up against him, I'm taking a shot and giving my man a chance. And, you know, he made some big boy plays as a youngster. As a youngster, he ended up going the JUCO route after SAC and then playing at Louisville. And like I said, now he's on the Dallas Cowboys. But he's insane. He's so good. So he was a mismatch down there. And you just got to understand who your playmakers are depending on the situation. Those two guys made some big boy plays for me and made my job easy, honestly. With that being said, I'm going to dive into some concepts that I have written up on the board that I like versus man-to-man. And just kind of give you a little rundown of what I'm seeing, where I like to go with my eyes, and just kind of breaking down some concepts versus man-to-man. So right now I'm going to go over two concepts that I like in the middle of the field. If you need a completion, if you need to convert on third down, stay on the field, and continue to keep the drive alive. These are some plays that I like. One of them is all slants. You know, you take this safety, you got a slant. Maybe that opens up this outside receiver is able to work a little bit a better move. He could go outside in, outside release, kind of turn the dude's hips, and then push them by and break them in. You can be a little patient. Obviously, you're going to take, I'm going to go one step, look number one not there, I'm going to go to number two, sit on that back foot and let it fly. So this is a super easy concept to get to. I love in breaking routes versus man coverage, slants I love, 5-yard ins I love, and depending on where I'm on the field, I love taking a shot just to try to get them out of it, and if I'm in the red zone, I'm definitely taking a shot. So I like slants for sure, you know, pick a side, and like I said, KYP, and feed the ball to your playmakers. The second concept I like in the middle of the field, trying to get a completion, working those one-on-one matchups, is double option. We got automatic outside releases on the outside. Depending on how you feel, depending if you're in rhythm, depending on what the game is like, if you need to make a play, as a quarterback, you kind of have control. You have to have control of every single situation, how the game's playing now, how you feeling, are you in rhythm, are you ready to take a shot? Because honestly, if I'm feeling myself, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this up to one of my receivers and, you know, try to back them out of it, out of that man coverage. And I mean, no team likes a 50-yard bomb tossed on them. So, you know, if you complete that, it's a big boy play, and you know, I'm always ready for that. But if you don't complete it, you know, you might get screamed at on the sideline by your OC. You got to be willing to understand the situation and willing to understand if you don't complete it. Like I said, you might get yelled at, but if you do complete it, you know, you're going to get all the praise. So depending on how you feel, you know, maybe you take that shot, maybe you don't. With that being said, you got double options. You got a receiver. You can work inside, stick, outside. Obviously, stick versus zone. You want to stay on the move versus man-to-man. Same on both sides. Work a move and try to create separation. DeAndre Carter is the king at this route. I'm picking a side. If he's lined up over here at H, I'm picking a side. I'm holding on my back foot. If I don't like to take a shot, I'm going to let him work a little wiggle, kind of twist the defender's hips and then create that separation. I'm going to put it on him, and we're going to stay on the field on the third down type situation, or even first and second down. He does a great job at creating separation and running this route. And man, we probably completed this time throughout my career over 150 times, honestly. So this is a really good man-to-man beater. We had a guy who was really good at running it. I understand the situation. KYP knew my personnel. I'm going to DC, and he's going to convert for us every single time. So those are two of the middle field type plays that I like if you need a completion and try to convert on third down. I'm going to break down a little red zone play that I like. Obviously, we called it NNAMDI back in college. If this is Cole, one of the players that I mentioned earlier in the video. I was actually on FaceTime with him earlier today and talked about this series that I was putting on, and he was like, bro, like, we made some big boy plays off this play alone. I remember at Montana, you know, I threw it up to him, and he came down with it to send us into overtime. So he's a huge playmaker. Still doing his thing. I love that dude, man. He's a legend.
Tell him it's barbecue chicken.
On a Tuesday, baby, 50-cent wings.
So if I see him lined up one-on-one with my Willie, we got so much space in the back of the end zone, you give him a chance. They call it a 50-50 ball. I call it more of a 90-10 ball because he's coming down with it 90% of the time. So this is one of my favorite plays when I'm talking about Cole. I also like slants down here. I'll get into that in like the 3x1 set. This is all 2x2 set type of things that I like down in the red zone. So yeah, stay tuned. 3x1 coming soon. So just so you know, this is all one take. You know, they call me one take G. I don't really ever go back and, you know, try to re-edit or re-say what I gotta say. So random things come to mind. I yet to mention double moves versus man-to-man coverage. I like double moves depending on the situation. If we're in the red zone, yes, some slow goes is pretty good. Maybe a wheel route, maybe a natural rub type route is really good in the red zone. I don't really like it in the middle of the field. You know, maybe it takes a little time to develop, and you got pressure coming in your face. Maybe you're late on the throw. Maybe you toss up an air ball and get picked off by the free safety. So depending on the situation, I like double moves. But yeah, back to 3x1 sets. Right now I'm going to talk about slants. Love slants in the red zone. Love slants in the open field if you need a completion. We're going to go this natural rub. It's a natural rub concept. You're going to read, I talked about this last episode. You're going to read this 1 to workouts. I move in to 2. But honestly, depending on where you are in the middle of the field, you could tag this dude backside 1-on-1. If you're in the red zone, I like fades. Give him a chance, more of that 90-10 ball. If you're in the middle of the field and looking for a completion, I like slants, and I like a stop route, 10-yard stop route, real good timing route. Expect it on your outside shoulder and stay on the field with that completion. It's honestly one of my favorite routes to get to man versus zone. So I really recommend practicing this route if you don't know it already. So this is actually my favorite concept to run in the red zone, man or zone. You got basically a high-low on the corner if it's zone, but obviously we're talking about man right now. I mentioned that I like in-breaking routes versus man, so 5-yard ends are good. I'll probably, you know, if we got a touchdown, you know, if this is Cole right here, if this is one of our tight ends, he breaks them off. There's so much space back here, you can lay it up in the back corner of the end zone. Completed a lot of touchdowns using this play. If you don't like that, you come down, obviously, 1 to 2. This receiver could be super patient and maybe going outside release, selling a fade, and pushing them by, coming inside to create that separation. You can hit this a lot. It's honestly always open. I think I love this route. So that's kind of a real good concept I like versus red zone. And obviously any 3-by-1 situation, you got your get backside. Don't ever be scared to take that, depending on how you're feeling. Obviously, I mentioned before, fade or stop routes, slants, and breaking routes. So yeah, this is my favorite concept in the red zone. Manned up, you know, find your playmaker, KYP, give him a chance. With all that being said, you know, you want to identify the safeties. That's going to tell you the coverage. You're going to see man eyes across the board, and you've got to step up to the line of scrimmage with a plan. If you don't like the initial concept that's called from the sideline, you definitely gotta, you could change it up, and that's obviously game plan throughout the week with your OC. But definitely have a plan, definitely understand where your personnel is, KYP, understand where you want to go with the football based on the coverage. And like I said, I mentioned some situation, red zone in open field. You got to find those completions in the open field and go ahead and take a shot and go crazy in the end zone with your teammates, boy. It's about having fun. It's about understanding the game. This is Lab Talk episode 2. I'll see y'all episode 3 next week. Gone.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for cover 2 next week. Peace.